test, 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 test. Do what now? No. What is it you're sending me? Caesar, what are you sending me? For the budget meeting? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You got it.
Huh?
You got it. It was at 1:03 p.m.
Yeah, just, could you resend it to me? Because I don't,
Yeah,
I mean, you do.
Is Jerry's
I
here?
haven't heard from you.
I tried to take my clock out yesterday to fix the time on it.
We might have to do this. We've always had problems with it.
Oh, it just keeps going back. You want to go back to that? God, I hate these stuff.
No.
No, it's on the desk. 2 minutes, I can make it.
I'm taking the night off.
Come on. Did you get to have all that hamburger out?
Come on, man.
Want to be a helper?
Okay. Oh. Crap. Oops. Too many cords here. It's pretty cool. You like pop it up and it turns on. Mhm. It's fancy.
Your tablet, keyboard, mouse, they're the ones that for some reason.
We know. Good.
Old fashioned. We didn't do that on purpose. Maybe next year it's all
Make sure your volume is down too, because I had to turn the mic on. Or else it's gonna probably echo. Like your speakers, just turn your speakers. Like, yeah. Love you. Yeah, instead of on a little screen. Seeing we have a quorum, I will call to order the City of Kema, City Council and Kema Public Facilities Corporation Workshop Agenda, August 20th, 2025 at 5 p.m. First thing on the agenda is invitation to address council, and Shalia, I believe you are the only one that signed up.
Thank you very much for allowing me to speak to you. I only have three items. Sorry. Can I start over? Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you this evening. I only have three items for the agenda for the workshop. During the past election cycle, all the candidates emphasized looking at the budget line item by line item, and some not in those exact words, but others in those exact words. And I would ask that the entire council honor that. I am all for public safety. My concern with some of the expenses are the flock cameras. And granted, many of them are on grants. But looking at the long picture, as I was looking through the items, and please correct me if I'm wrong, after those grant funds are over, then it's incumbent upon the city to foot the bill for those. And in a city of less than 2 square miles, how many flock cameras do you need? I put the specifications down for them. And are they going to be used truly as they intended, or do we open ourselves up for lawsuits for them being used improperly? Through no fault, through an honest mistake bring lawsuits. The second thing I want to ask, and it's actually on an item on the regular meeting, but I just would ask that, is it included in the budget when this no-cost MOU with Gov2Biz for AI is approved? After the pilot period, it's $1,100 a month. We've talked about the things for drones. I'm all for it, but I would also like to see not only the police department have a qualified operator, but as well as someone in public works or communications. Because who wants to pay an officer to operate a drone for a public event when they can be boots on the ground? And that's that thing. Do you balance people or tools and technology? Thank you.
Next on the agenda is 3A presentation by Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Hello, how are y'all? Mayor, thank you, and council, thank you for the opportunity to come and speak on behalf of the chamber. My name is Cindy DeWeese, and I'm the president and CEO. And I want to introduce our chairman of the board, Jacob Bigger, who is the general manager of Kema Boardwalk. And some of our chamber team, our vice president, Sherry Sweeney, is here, and Wendy Allen, our member services specialist, and a newest member of our team is Melissa Kaler, and she is our program specialist. So we're here to let you all know how much we appreciate the partnership between the city of Kema and the chamber, and let you know some of the accomplishments we've had during the year, and answer some of your questions about the 2026 investment request and the 3-year agreement proposal. So next slide. Okay, thank you. The chamber was incorporated on August the 8th, 1962 as the Kema Seabrook Chamber of Commerce with Ben Blackledge. You see his picture there. He was the mayor of Kema at the time and a business owner, also on the chamber board. And in 1969, he was the president of our chamber board. In 1964, the chamber changed the name to the Clear Lake Chamber as named for the lake. And then in the late 70s, it became the Clear Lake Area Chamber as a regional organization. Next slide, please. We are a 501c6 membership economic development organization. And with the mission statement of Champions for Business Success and Quality of Life in our community. We are governed by 19 volunteer board members elected by the membership and 7 officers, as you can see them pictured there. In 2021, the board of directors developed a strategic plan. The strategic plan named 4 key performance areas which align with our mission. And that's champions to attract, develop, retain members, volunteers, and staff. Business success to promote, develop, inform, and connect members. Quality of life to attract, retain, and cultivate a resilient local economy. And community, connect, collaborate, and advocate with various stakeholders, which include our members and cities we represent, elected officials, and other area organizations. Next slide, please. Our chamber represents 9 unique cities, total population of about 350,000 as of the last census, and over 125 square miles. We represent portions of 2 counties, making 1 community to collaborate on endeavors to make our region stronger. As a chamber, we support countless businesses and identify 5 major industries: aerospace, healthcare, marine, tourism, and petrochemical. We are about to complete our strategic plan, and one of the goals was to retain chamber members from 74% when we started the strategic plan, and we're now at a 91% retention rate with our membership. So we're pretty proud of that. So our next slide, please. Since the beginning of our fiscal year, which was October the 1st, we have continued to concentrate on supporting the business community through promotions such as our ribbon cuttings, our networking events, our educational programming, social media and website resources. Our views have increased to over 800,000, as you can see. And then most importantly, to remain as a community and business advocate, naming 17 legislative priorities or advocacy letters of support. While our members are working in their business, we are working for them as advocates for the betterment of the community. Next slide, please. We continue to produce programs to encourage networking through relationship building, because you want to do business with people you know, like, and trust. And so we give you that opportunity. Business development seminars highlighting programs that give our members real tools to use in their business. The monthly luncheons with informative speakers and topics such as the economic impact of tourism, performance of our school district, and our legislative updates and more. 3 weeks ago, we hosted 380 new teachers to CCISD with the annual New Teachers Luncheon. Truly a collaboration between the business community, the Chamber of Commerce, and the school district to welcome and show appreciation to the teachers in our area. Most of these folks, more than half of them, are not from the area, and so they're using our businesses for products and services that they need also for moving to a new community. Next slide, please. The Chambers of Commerce were formed over 500 years ago to advocate for their communities, and that is no different today. Our chief responsibility as a Chamber of Commerce is to be the voice of business, locally, statewide, and federally. During the past legislative session, or the current legislative session, if it's, because it's still going on, we have collaborated with Bay Area Houston Economic Partnership to develop a legislative agenda on issues important and sometimes unique to our area. And on October the 4th, we took over 80 travelers to Austin to deliver the message of our 9 key priorities for the Texas legislature, as you can see on the slide. Next slide, please. In May, we partnered with BayHemp again and other organizations across the country to advocate for space during the annual Citizens for Space exploration trip to Washington, D.C. After the trip, Congress approved nearly $10 billion in NASA funding, and so clearly a win for our community, which was threatened this year, and so we were happy to go up there and support the organization, NASA. We've also written letters of support on important issues locally and statewide on water infrastructure, road expansion for the Houston Spaceport, drug price program protection, funding for Texas abandoned and boat legislation, along with letters on behalf of the city of Kemah for grant applications for development of parks, sidewalks, and advancing ecotourism. Yesterday, our board of directors even approved a letter for a grant for the Port of Houston for infrastructure improvements. So next slide, please. Last August, our Leadership Clear Lake class of 2025 began their journey, and in May, we graduated our largest class to date with 27 participants. Rashard Loftus, right here, was one of those participants from the city of Kemah, and he wrote a testimonial for us to use in future promotions, so I want to share that with you. I truly learned a lot from the class. It allowed me to look deep within myself and try to be a better individual and leader as I navigate through life. I highly recommend everyone to participate in this great opportunity. He was a great member of the class. We didn't know what to expect at first, but boy, he delivered. We really enjoyed having him. I was glad he was a part of the program. The class heard from local leaders such as Senator Mays Middleton and Larry Taylor, Representative Greg Bonin and Dennis Paul, U of H President Richard Walker, and Chancellor Brenda Hillier from San Jack, and all of the Galveston County CCISD superintendents, including Dr. Karen Engel. The industry tours they took were to the NASA Johnson Space Center, Ellington Airport, Lone Star Flight Museum, CCISD, San Jacinto College, U of H Clear Lake, and some of the healthcare facilities. These are all trips that they cannot, it's a backdoor kind of tour that they cannot just get as a regular citizen. So, and then we also take a trip every year to the Capitol in Austin. The leadership class studies self-assessment and understands others through Insights Discovery Program. Next slide. It's really a highlight, our leadership class. I turned the page too quickly. Our chairman of the board's goal this year was to highlight the efforts of the chamber by telling our chamber story, reaching further than our membership to let others know what the chamber does for the community. Starting with the first time ever military and first responders luncheon held right here in Kemah, and promoting the chamber's participation in advocacy days in Washington and in Austin, highlighting businesses through our weekly podcast, and producing long-time events that bring thousands of visitors to our area. All of this and more helped us increase our social media presence by more than 170%, which shows the world that we have a diverse community to live, work, play, and invest in the future. Next slide. Most importantly, the impact of our chamber is testimonials. Our members can tell our story better than we can, and it speaks for themselves on how important it is to the business community to get involved. So next slide, please. I want to thank you again for your confidence and your investment in the chamber. At this time, I'm going to ask Jacob Bigger to come up, our chairman of the board, and talk about the development of our 2025-2030, that's hard to say, strategic plan that focuses on the strength of the chamber through the progress. So Jacob.
So I'll give a brief overview of our 5-year strategic plan, starting with our strategic focus and goals. So the first focus we came to was focus on stability and relationships. It's something we started actually a few years ago. So those that know the chamber business, you do a membership campaign every year. Well, it wasn't doing what we wanted. We had a 74% retention rate, and now we have 91%. And so we're focusing on organic growth. We want people that are joining for the right reasons. We want them to join because they're going to be engaged in the process, and then they're going to want to stick around. And so we're seeing the fruits of that labor because of that focus. So we're continuing that focus item. Leverage brand awareness and strategic advantage is kind of what she talked about, telling my chamber story or telling the chamber story, is we want to make sure that everybody outside of the chamber knows what we're doing to impact the community in a positive way. There's lots of legislation. There's a lot of things that the chamber has done in the past decades that have made the lake safer, that have made NASA Road 1 widen, and a lot of other things that the community has benefited from. And they may not know, just like they don't always know what you guys are doing every single day, that what happens behind the scenes. And we want people to know about that. So leveraging the brand awareness, ensuring that the message is getting out beyond our doors. The next one is project an accurate image to investors. Too many times you hear the story, I'm not using my benefit. I didn't get anything out of it. And I have to remind people that if you paid your membership dues, you got 100% of your return on your investment. You probably got it tenfold, because your membership is paying for this awesome professional staff that's behind me to advocate for our community and to build up our community while you're at work, whether you're at home sleeping, whatever it might be. This organization's working. We went to DC in May, going up there expecting not to get funding for NASA. And I know that we're in Kemah and NASA's just down the road, but the economic downturn that would have happened with the president's budget would have gutted NASA's budget. It would have had devastating effects on contractors that are doing business with NASA, that work, live, and play in this area. But also, it was going to cut the legs under the commercial space buildup that's currently happening in our backyard. That's going to be a huge industry in the future. And so, fortunately, as us, along with BAHEP and other organizations around the country, we convened, we met with legislators, and they heard us, and they added that $10 billion. It was a huge win. And organizations like this one are fighting that fight when people don't even always understand that. So your membership dues are paying for that. Now, if you want promotion, if you want business connections, if you want networking, you have to invest more. That more doesn't mean more money. It may just be as easy as time. And these businesses say they're not getting anything out of their membership. Well, we didn't see you in a year. So you got what your membership dues paid for, but we opened the door for all these educational benefits, the networking and connection benefits that you have to utilize. And most of it just takes time. Our fourth strategic focus is to establish a chamber foundation. The board has already voted to start a foundation. So this would be a 501c3 that can take donations and use those for business grants, use it for disaster relief, as well as scholarships and grants for students that are going to continue their education. And so we feel that's important. Port Aransas, or Rockport, sorry, they got smacked with a hurricane just a few years ago. If you recall, it flattened them. Fortunately, their chamber had a foundation, and all the money that around the country, they were looking for a place to send it because they wanted to get it down there. And so because they had that foundation, they were able to take those funds, and then it allowed them to be able to disperse them in the community more efficiently. The next one, Building Tomorrow. It's important that we're engaging with the youth. So we have a Leadership Clear Lake. We're looking at doing a junior Leadership Clear Lake and engaging with high school students, possibly middle school students, so that we can engage them in what a chamber is, but also the industries in our community. We want to build up our future leaders. Every industry that exists here. Name an industry, we have it. And so we want to build up these leaders for tomorrow. We want to make sure they understand from a strategic standpoint that they know what the value of the chamber is. But also we want to keep those leaders in our community. And the last one is we want to support a regional tourism in any way possible. And so many of you guys are aware of the CVB. It's had its ups and its downs. There's obviously support needs. We're not aware exactly how that program is going to work or what they're going to need. We just know there's a need for that support and that marketing effort. This community thrives when we all work together. And I know there's politics and we have so many cities and everybody has their own opinion, but this area should be a powerhouse that can compete with anybody. We have everything right here. Like I said, we have all the industries. We're a short drive to the beach. We're a short drive to Houston. We have entertainment and restaurants, some of the best restaurants. One of the best restaurants in the state of Texas, in the world, is right here in Kemah, Texas. And it's not at the boardwalk, but it is a fantastic restaurant. And so we have everything right here in our area, yet because we're not working together, we're losing out to the Katie's of the world. We're losing out to Sugar Land from a marketing collaborative effort. And so there's more talks and discussions. This kind of started with some discussions with at our BAHEP Tourism Committee that Caesar is a part of. He's actually the chair of the committee. I serve on the committee along with Sherry and Cindy. And every single one of our tourism community meetings, even though the agenda is focused on, hey, what can we do to collaborate, work together, it all comes back down to regional marketing. And so right now that tourism committee is focused on the World Cup and seeing how we can leverage opportunities there. But to go back to that one last focus point of working together, World Cup, we're going to get the scraps. it's already too late. Like whatever's going to overflow from Houston, we're going to get. But we just talked about all the awesome things that we have in our area. If we are collaborating on a long-term perspective and working together as a region, there's no reason we wouldn't be competing and be the first people that they're thinking about those delegations coming down to view. They're going to hit Houston. They're the powerhouse, but we should be second right after Houston. And it's just going to take a little bit of teamwork. So the chamber's focused on that. We think it's strategically advantageous for the chamber, but as well as our community. And that is all I have. I'm going to open it up for questions for myself or any of the staff.
I have a quick question, Dave. Is the chamber open to other cities? Or, for instance, I have a good friend that is an entrepreneur, small business owner in LaPorte that was interested in joining. He does work over here. He was interested in joining our chamber. Is that possible?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We represent those 9 cities. If he were in Galveston and he wanted to be a member of the chamber, he certainly could. We would also encourage him to be a member of the Galveston chamber. But the Pleasure Pier, to put an example, they're members of the Clear Lake Area Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions or comments for the chamber? Thank you
I
all.
don't have a question, but I'll just make a comment. I appreciate you coming here. It's budget season, which is just nothing but a series of spreadsheets and a series of numbers. And so it's nice to be able to see what this is actually going to. So I appreciate you guys coming out and doing this. I'm a huge advocate of what the chamber does. I think it's incredibly important for the city to be a part of it. It's one of those hard lines I like to draw on occasion sitting up here, but I think it's a wonderful organization. I think what you do for the area and Kima in particular is vital, and glad you're here. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, dudes.
Next on our agenda tonight is 3B, presentation and discussion proposed budget for fiscal year 2026. And we have Ryan available for any comments or questions. And I believe there's 2 budgets in the packet tonight for consideration.
Oh, no, PowerPoint. Did we send you the PowerPoint?
No.
Stop over Caesar, I'm gonna get her the PowerPoint.
This one here?
This is basically
Yeah.
B and then what would be D, correct?
Correct. This is an update for the presentation we had last time.
Next slide, please. To summarize, nothing's really changed as far as the total taxable value. We're still waiting to hear if anybody else is going to be debating anything else. Your no new revenue rate has not changed, your voter approval rate, nor has your de minimis rate. So this slide did not change at all. Next slide, please. These are the highlights of what both of these options provide you. Both of the options listed before you tonight for consideration or editing all have the 8% TMRS. The taxable value is always the same. You've got, one of them has a bigger piece of equipment than for Public Works versus the no new revenue rate has a smaller one. The adoption of a police department step plan, 1 officer, 1 vehicle. Definitely having the transportation program we've been talking about, the health insurance that you've already approved, $30K in contingency, and between $2K and $5K in surplus, depending on which option you would choose. All the numbers are looked at a 3% projected sales tax increase, and then obviously increasing efficiency. Almost every single department is running on less than what they would have been the previous year. Next slide, please. Option B, which you looked at last time again, was keeping the tax rate the same. TMRS included the updated service credit. The 3% COLA considered for staff, it leaves you with a 5K surplus, and it would have been the bigger machine. Next slide. Option D reduces to the no new revenue rate. It does still include the updated rate. It does include the TMRS COLA, up to 3% COLA for staff, a 2K surplus, the smaller machine. And it also added consideration for some things that we know that we needed to do, which are street sweeping service, so we can keep in compliance with our MS4 permit. We'll be having our stormwater meeting here next month to get that kicked off again. as well as our street assessment to assess the condition of our streets. Roughly costing us between 15 and 20,000 bucks to get that done. Next slide, please. In summary, public safety is still a priority in both of these options, although the one that you guys asked us to come back with today. Public Works is still a priority through drainage and maintenance. The employee benefits and retention is still a priority with both of these plans. All of our current decisions are preparing us for future. Whichever option you go with, we're somewhat prepared for the future. Currently, we are set up to possibly, depending on how the sales tax goes, to be able to reduce property rate in the future. Our goal is to be at 180 days. We're roughly at about 100 days right now. Next year's balance, depending on which budget you choose, will be between 90 and 100 days, because obviously, as your budget changes, the cost of the day changes. So you'll still be above 90 no matter which option you choose, which was the minimum goal. Next slide, please. What we're requesting tonight is tell us which sales tax increase percentage you'd like to go with. You want to go ultra conservative at 2%, stay at the 3% that we've made these projections on, or go somewhere in the middle at 2.5. Which tax rate do you want to go with? No new revenue or keeping it the same as we are now? Which Public Works machine you're going to definitively decide to go with, and which TMRS plan you want to go with, and what those conditions all equate to. Next slide, please. What's next? We've got, assuming whatever feedback you give us tonight, we're going to bring back a final budget with a tax rate ready for the September 3rd meeting. For first reading for both of those, with the second reading and ultimate passing of the budget on Wednesday, September 17th, with both the tax rate being in second reading and the budget adoption. I will keep in mind that the urgency is to try to get something done tonight, because all these things have to be properly noted in the paper. And in order to avoid a special meeting, we would like the proper direction tonight and how we're going to move forward. We've worked on different models since here and there and tweaked some of the numbers, but we wanted to share what was posted to all the residents by the time that the cutoff deadline had to be posted. That concludes the presentation. We are open to comments and suggestions, discussion. Can you go put the slide back up as to what we need tonight, please? That way. Thank you. Try to make it as multiple choice as we could.
I wish I could say I saw a way to go with the larger machine for Public Works, but I just don't. I mean, I can't make the math work on it.
Okay.
I would love to do that for anybody. I really would, but it's just, it's a massive ask. I mean, I want to get you guys the equipment that you need, but I also think we go into this needing to take care of the staff and, if possible, lower taxes, but by all means, not raise them.
And that difference is 215 and 319 as far as the equipment is concerned, correct?
214 versus 319, yes, ma'am.
It'd be more than 319 because all the attachments are on the second proposal.
That's correct. It'd be a little bit more, roughly 328 if I remember correctly.
$20,000 roughly, $27,000.
And KCDC agreed to pass the half of the small machine yesterday. So the city would have to come up with that other $50-something thousand if we went large machine.
So 215 divided by 2?
214 divided by 2.
214.
KCDC passed 107 last night per recommendation
For that machine,
for the smallest.
The small-
machine.
smaller one.
machine.
making it even easier.
Is there a consensus with the council that's present that the smaller machine is the direction to go tonight?
Yes.
I'm good with it. I think KCDC was good with it last night. I'll let go of it today. I'm good.
Okay.
And it was also an understanding, sat with Public Works and just took a straw poll with some of the employees as well. They understand that there's sacrifices being made this year in lieu of different things, and they're being part of the solution, obviously. So whatever we could do, they're understanding that we're doing the best we can to take care of people's benefits this year as well. So in consideration to that, I think they were definitely understanding to that. I mean, obviously, can't speak for Richard. I think he would love to have the bigger piece of equipment as well, but we have to think about the current and future of our current and future employees. Which I know we stated was a big priority when we first started working together, so.
And if we go down the list, is there a consensus tonight of no new revenue versus another tax rate? Anybody have comments?
Yeah, I
Can
based
we-
all my analysis on keeping the tax rate the same.
That's
Okay.
me too. It's kind of where I'm at. I'm more concerned about using 3% sales tax increase. I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts on that versus the
Wait,
same rate.
repeat that?
I'm good with keeping it the same. If we had to pick one at the very moment, I would like to hear everybody's opinion on item number 1 up there. I have my own concerns about using 3% as a sales tax increase for next year. Just
Okay.
personally have concerns about where that leaves us if we don't achieve that. I know we're having a really good year this year, but stringing them 2 years in a row might be tough.
You thinking 2.5?
I've got it at 2.
You got it too?
I would like to under promise and over deliver personally, but
We had some stellar months that were, I mean,
We did,
this last tax was really high compared to last year. I mean,
which
you
we
had the
didn't
hurricane last
expect.
year, you had the road construction. I mean, I know we're basing it off this year's sales, but there's some pretty stout numbers in there. So, and we caught weekends perfectly. If you go back and look at weekends, as far as catching 5 weekends in a month, and I'm not sure that's gonna be the same thing next year. So, I mean, the weekends felt very favorable for the boardwalk this year. If you look at it from that perspective. I mean, I've worked on this for hours. I mean, I'll have lines in my form. I mean, because I went from 3 to 2, lowered the ad valorem by 1% because we don't have it certified, so I lowered it. I met with Enterprise with Dustin. If we're gonna stay on schedule, we really need to add a second police car. If not, we're just gonna go back in the same boat we were 3 years ago when we started this lease program. So another police car is in there, but we decided we probably wouldn't get it till April if we ordered them and the time we got them outfitted. So you're only looking for 1 police car for a full year in that budget. Street sweep was something we added, road study, but we added somebody in public works as well. So we think the part's gonna take more time than anticipated. So I'll have Ryan send it out with all my notes, and because I spent 3.5 hours last Friday going line by line on the budget. So I do think 3% is being ultra aggressive with the stout numbers that were presented this year.
So you're thinking 2% and keep the tax rate the same?
Yes.
And just so y'all know, dropping from 3 to 2 is only like $36,000. It's not like a massive $200,000 decrease.
So a half would be 18.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I mean, we lost 2 restaurants on the boardwalk, but we picked up Lucky Tortillas, which is just a wash probably when it's all said and done.
I like the 2.
I mean, we had some real stout numbers this year, so. But I did raise like some of the income items, like warranty, if we're hiring a warranty officer. We got $800,000 outstanding in the last 5 years in warranties, warrants, not warranties. And I think collecting 20% of that amount is feasible if somebody's working on it consistently. So I've raised that number. There's some other numbers I've raised in here, and I'll make sure I signify everything so you don't have to go digging through it. I'll get that to Rod in the morning and get it sent out to everybody.
So the warrants that were recently issued, how long until those are in line Barton's hands to start?
Well, they have their chance to come in themselves and take care of them through day 61. So it's 61 days after issuance, but that issuance does not become active until September 23rd. Somewhere, call it the end of September. So they wouldn't get them. We had a call with Linebarger today. They wouldn't get them until, wow. But one thing is even I just got the latest report from them. They continue to collect on some of those old ones. They're at bare minimum, they're bringing in anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000. We are doing 2 warrant resolutions. Can't call them the other name anymore. 2 warrant resolution events that we'll be having. The first one being roundups. I thought we couldn't say that anymore. Resolutions. We're having 2 more warrant resolutions that will be taking place during the next fiscal year. So that should be approved to help that number get to where you want it to be. In the meantime, we're also, we mentioned flock cameras. One of the new technologies that we're looking at using is to encourage for whatever license plate of record we may have for the person that would have been here if it was a driving citation to be added to those flock cameras. we could do that. We think it'll assist in that manner as well.
Well, TMRS point.
That's, I've spent 3 hours on the phone with Anthony since our last meeting. I mean, somebody wants to know about it, I can probably explain it to you now. I've got
Well,
way deeper into it than I anticipated.
well, I guess first, can you explain the new option on this?
I'm going to, actually, I haven't had a chance to hand that out to everybody, so I'm going to ask you to turn those down for me.
We now have yet another.
Good.
Just for comparison, I would try to clean it up a little bit. There was an option we did not look at before that Chief is handing out to everybody. Right? You need one?
I have one more. Get it on the screen.
Currently, what we have now is far below what other cities have. We don't have the updated service credit. We don't have a COLA. So neither of those is an option. If anybody needs more copies, I do have copies here if anybody would like one. I did bring some with me if anybody would like one. These are hot off the press. We just got this tabulated earlier. Right now, your pension sits in great shape. You're at 213,850 of overfunded, essentially. Not many cities can say that they're overfunded. In saying that, we can't touch it. You can't pull it out. You can't say, hey, that's great, $200,000, let's go do something with it. It just sits there. In conjunction with that, option one brings you to where everybody else is now. But if you notice, bringing you to where everybody else is now, it's still costly. It's still a drastic swing of roughly $800,000. These are all would be, I'm gonna mess up the word, amortized over 20 years, so whatever options those would be. The current rate, the reason you're overfunded is anytime you start funding to folks and they don't become vested and whatever else happens, those funds sit there. That's why essentially, although the employee is putting their 7% in, you're not putting 14 in. You're actually putting in 6.31. The reason is because you're overfunded and because of just that's the contribution rate, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to folks, but just understand at the end of the day, it ends up equating to 2 to 1. Option one brings you to where everybody else is now. I'll stop there for a second because I want everyone to understand that this would be helping folks what this necessarily the biggest effect that this has. Almost every single city around minus 4 cities, we are one of those 4. I'm not going to name the other 4, but we're the only one near us really, provides a COLA of some sort, 1%, 0.5%, whatever it is, to its employees upon retirement. So year one, let's say they'll make $1,000. Year two, they'll make $1,010 a month, and so on and so forth. So it just goes on from there. So keep in mind that that's what the difference of having that COLA perspective is. A lot of cities provide this, a lot don't. Very few do not provide this. Option two that's listed on there keeps you just like you are now, not providing the COLA. However, it does allow there to be 8%. This year and this year only, TMRS is allowing us to go to 8% without having to include your entire perspective. In doing that, that's what that option is, but it does not give you a COLA option. So for perpetuity for the rest of forever, as long as folks are alive or however they dictate their beneficiaries, that number doesn't change. Option three would be the absolute one of, if not the best plan. The only difference is a lot of other cities do 100% updated service credit and up to 70, 80% COLA. I'm repeating, that's the only difference, that other cities do provide more of that. In this case, your plan goes higher. The problem you're having now is a lot of other folks that may work in other cities, essentially over time, that's why folks may have come here, stayed here for a while, and then said, you know what, I can go to another city and have a better plan. We ran these plans on some folks, and it could be a difference of $1,000 or more a month in their retirement, which we're talking about 20 years from now, we know cost of living where it's going to be. So I say all that to say, we brought this to the table. We have different plans presented. It's now time to pick one. And these are all the options that are presented. That's the difference between our current plan and the 3 options that are presented. The bottom line ends up being that it's amortized over 20 years. So The worst case scenario, the 759, 678, option 3, what does that affect us in year one?
Year one is,
Sorry,
Just
Ryan,
want
putting
to
you on the spot.
it's like 117. I can't pull that up because it's got everyone's salary.
Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
I wrote it down for Darren.
I just know that the numbers obviously drop year over year. The first year is going to be the biggest year because it's the
And
biggest hit.
that's the 117?
That would be the 117.
Yeah, 117, 043 and 54 cents.
And that's already in the current options that you have listed before you. What happens
Both
is,
budgets?
it's in both budgets right now. No,
Yes.
it's in both,
Yes.
it's included in the two that are up there. So at the end of the day, your budgets both have option 3. They both include that option, the two that are presented tonight. We have been asked to look at different scenarios, but right now what you have before you that went out to the public includes option 3 in that base. So if you could go, Natasha, back to the PowerPoint, please. So it sounds like the pulse of everyone is to, on the third one, go with the smaller machine. It sounds like the pulse is either new revenue or the same rate. It sounds like we'd like to drop to a 2% sales tax increase projection. Is that?
Yep.
Okay. We have to run numbers comparative to this. Then the last question that needs to be answered for tonight, for us to be prepared to move forward, would be which TMRS plan would you like to select to go forward?
And you said that the 2% versus the going down was only roughly 30-something thousand?
Yes.
So the budget would allow for the
Yes.
third package
We've,
as far as TMRS and reducing to 2%
Mhm.
projection.
projections. Just been- we got a savings in our TML insurance and we made a couple more little cuts in the budget. So going down the 2%, we'll have enough to cover that and have a little extra. So
Do you know what a little extra means?
on the same rate, it would have been, if we stayed the same, we'd have 91,000 left. So.
I'm sorry I'm late, but why are we considering 2% versus whatever it was?
Our numbers were off the charts this year.
Super
We're basing it
conservative.
off this year's numbers.
Super conservative.
All the projections that are presented tonight are at a 3% rate.
But you're making, that they're 3%?
The projections that were presented to the public and to council tonight, options, what we're now calling B, which was the same as last time, was same B, and D, which was at the new revenue rate, both represent a 3%. They reflect a 3% sales tax projection.
So that's gonna be 55,000. So at 2.
Before you came in, Jacob had, Dustin had expressed concerns that this was a great year. We had, Darren mentioned 5 weekends in spring, a few weekend months that we had, no hurricanes. And they're wanting to err on the side of conservatism because they mainly think that may not duplicate itself again next year. Did I say that correct, gentlemen?
Yes, ma'am.
And also another point of information, the difference between 2% and 3%, different of that 1% is roughly $36,000. So the 0.5% would be 18,000.
And did I hear you say that option 3 is the best goal to retain and attract employees?
Yes, sir. One would argue it would be probably the best retirement plan in the entire region. Not the state, but pretty much in the entire region. I
Is
think it
there
would
an
help.
issue with stair stepping that though?
No,
It sounds to me
there
like
is.
we're going from tied to 3 other cities for last place
Well,
to now just
Well,
there's cities out
obliterating
there at
everybody else.
5%, 6%.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names, but I mean, I did enough research.
There's some that are at a lower rate, but they have the COLA, and that's what the difference is. So there are some that are a lower rate. However, the other option, the other situation, that TMRS is only allowed to carry this through the end of this calendar year. What that means is
It's the
this does not
workshop
include the
program.
retroactive. There was another option that was a $1.4 million swing, I think it was. It was just, it was way too much to even consider to bring to the table for today's presentation.
Thoughts, Budget Jedi?
I mean, mine says option 2 and the one I'm sending you tomorrow. So. But they just presented option 1 when I got here, so.
Yeah, we just ran the numbers on option 1 because that wasn't even considered before.
If option 3 is off the table, which option do you choose? Staff, what's your staff recommendation between 1 and 2?
It's a very difficult decision because I have to think about all the staff. For some staff, 1 would make more sense. For the other rest of the staff, option 2 would make more sense. So it depends because everybody has more. I mean, there's another percent being contributed by the employee. So in theory, on their everyday paycheck, yes, you're going to get a lower. You're giving up 1%. However, you're betting on the future, and also with the cooperation of the city providing for that. So if I have to worry about everybody's future, not knowing what the cost of living is going to be with 20 years from now when they retire, I would probably tell you option 2. But the unknown makes me kind of quirky. It makes me say it really depends. If I had to pick between 2 and 3, I'd pick 3. If I had to pick between 1 and 2, I'd probably tell you maybe 2. But just keep in mind, that number of minus 188 is going to only keep going down as you have turnover. It's just natural. But I could tell you that doing nothing counts against longevity, because folks will eventually look at the numbers and say, well, my retirement plan eventually will go down, especially if you have anybody that comes here from another city, because most of the other cities have a COLA, so it eventually over time, it just goes down, no matter how much they contribute. And in consideration of such, if you remember, the first COLA that we brought you for staff was a 4%. That was brought to us, each asked to bring us 4%. As a team, we all understand that we're willing to drop that to 3%. We can change that. We're not going to feel 3%. We're going to feel 2% because 1% is going straight to our portion of what team's portions would be towards their retirement plan. Should you go with either 2 or 3?
For those of y'all that are gonna be on council a lot longer than me, in talking to Anthony, these numbers will go up over the next few years. They will come down after that to turnover, but these numbers will increase in the next 2 to 3 years per Anthony in our discussion, so it's not like a fixed number that's gonna be constant for 20 years, but he did tell me proceed with caution that the next couple of years would be probably a raise in these numbers. If you go with option 1 or option 3.
Everybody looks so happy. Sorry was late.
What's that?
I said, everybody looks so happy. Sorry was late.
Yeah, we're all mad
No.
at you.
Bro,
Look at that shirt. Nice.
You wish you had a shirt like
I have some opinions. You want to hear them?
Absolutely.
I did some
that. You have
research.
opinions?
Did some research, yeah. I wasn't aware that you were thinking about taking it down to 2%. I think that's ultra conservative, but if you can make your budget work, I'm fine with it. I don't really, if you can make 3 work in the budget, it doesn't really bother me as much, but I also don't agree on the equipment either. I think you say, just like everything else that we do, you save the money over a period of a couple of years and buy it when you want. But I also think we should renegotiate our contract with the county on who cuts what ditches, which I'm willing to do, by the way. I'm willing to take the lead on that.
that is part of the discussion.
Yeah, and so that's me. And then budget, the second budget, the note, same, keep it the same. What's wrong with that? So I don't know, I can hear everybody else's input. It might be a good thing I can hear everybody else's input, but that's was my,
No, that's, see,
that was
that's,
mine.
That's
No,
you're basically the same as everybody else. for the most
Yeah,
part.
that's
Mine
fairly
is-
the consensus.
I just don't think, I think, I don't know if we're overselling the equipment or underselling the need for more people. I think you need another person. And I'm not in your shoes every day, but I do know what we're putting out there. And I really think that you need
The
another
budget, I'm
person.
gonna send you tomorrow, have an additional public works.
Yeah,
person.
we'll have an additional
That's the second
person.
week's
there's one in
part.
there?
Okay.
There's a person in there.
Yeah, there's one.
No, I mean a dedicated
one-
person. That's what I'm talking about.
Well,
Dedicated
We're
part.
paying for one, but I mean, you can't send one person out there for safety reasons.
There will be enough attention to address the
Yeah,
needs of the
so
board.
that's me. And then, I was talking to the mayor or somebody about it. I was like, still it amazes me why we're still connected to a handshake deal that was made in the 90s. You know?
Well, we're going to address that
No, I
best
will
we
address
can.
Yeah, it's apparently more than a handshake.
It's a written, signed.
It is a
document.
written
No,
signed.
no, I
agreement.
understand, and I'm very well aware. I'm a historian when it comes to how that began to be, trust me.
But
But,
we're working on it.
that right there to me would alleviate a lot of the need for what we need. And then just save the money and buy the equipment that you want when you're ready, when you have the money to buy it. What we did on the park. If we didn't spend money we didn't have, we just saved the money and did what we needed to do it.
Okay, CDC approved 107.5 for half for the smaller one last
Or
night.
half of the small one.
Okay. It could be a third of the big one if you want to put it in the bank. I'll let it earn interest. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's what I'm saying, and that just comes from, if you really need the big one, put it in the bank, earn interest, keep saving. But that's how I would do it
Understood.
in ISC construction. But
I think
that's my
then
input. I'll keep mine short. We got 9 minutes.
it's up to you what you want. I just know that, next slide, please. Ms. Natasha, if you can go to the next slide. We're a little bit up against the timeline. Can you go to next steps or yes? This is what's left to do. We've got to bring this for first reading and second reading over your next 2 meetings. So what we need tonight is we need decisions on those 4 questions on the previous slide so we can make a definitive budget to bring you.
That's at the next meeting.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
third.
Yes, ma'am. Or a modification, and I'm okay with that, if whatever that looks like. Want to plug away at certain numbers and certain lines for us to do that and, hey, vote, that's it, we're bringing it back, let's go. We got a calculator, we can do this, or we can,
Well, I guess the only determination we still need though from council tonight is TMRS. We sort of have agreed on the tax rate and the machine and the projections. So gentlemen,
Having to pick one tonight, I'd go with option 2.
is there any way to run these numbers after this meeting, Ryan, and come up with what the numbers would be for
Oh,
1 and 2 over the next, say, I know it's going to go over 20 years, but give us an idea of the first 10 or all 20 if possible? I mean, we can't do that based on people coming and going, but.
I did ask them, but I talked to Anthony when he prepared this for me, and he said the actuarial people could put that together for us, it would just take a little bit of time. I only had 45 minutes when we were trying to put this together. So he said it would take a little bit of time, because we're not the only ones trying to do this, but they could run the numbers.
I mean, I don't know if y'all want to have another budget meeting next week. We can probably have the numbers then. So,
That's what I mean, if we got started on that immediately tomorrow, obviously, and then plan before the 3rd. But that could be disseminated just as one document with numbers for council prior to us putting everything together for the next meeting. Probably?
Did y'all rule out option 3 before I walked in?
No. I think they are hovering between 1 and 3,
Who's
I
that?
think.
Who's
All-
that?
everyone.
Ballcat Brothers down there?
The gentleman out here.
say 1 and 3 or 2 and 3.
Oh, well, maybe it is 2 and 3.
I mean, if you're gonna run them, let me see them.
if we get the numbers done, I know Natasha just informed me that we have to have the meeting posted by tomorrow. So
The
if we're
29th.
having it next week on Wednesday, I don't know everyone's availability on Wednesday.
I'm gone all week next week.
That gives you a week from tomorrow, if she has to post it on the 29th?
Oh, she would have to post it, no, tomorrow. If we're doing it next, because next week, because, with the
Oh, because of the
third
holiday?
is the meeting for, the open, for, to adopt.
Wait a minute,
the budget.
repeat that?
The first reading of the, tax rate in the budget is on the 3rd.
Mhm.
So, next week would be our last chance to, have another budget workshop.
Unless, well, unless you do it before the meeting on the 3rd.
Oh, I
And have
guess
it
we
ready-
could.
and have it ready to go. That'd be the only item we're discussing, right?
You still have to post the budget.
Yeah, we have to post it and all that stuff, so.
On the 3rd.
You have to post it by the third. Well, it has to be posted before that, for the
Yeah,
third meeting.
Yeah,
By this Friday?
yeah, yes, ma'am. So, and, oh, it has to be posted Thursday. Okay. For the 3rd.
This Thursday, the final budget has to be posted.
Well, she's checking right now.
What do you want to do?
Uh,
Before we go gauging that while they deliberate there on what the dates are, who would be available if you wanted to have another meeting?
Gotcha. So we'd have to post tomorrow for the 27th and then turn around and post again for the 3rd. Right. Yes. So,
So, okay, while y'all deliberate that, Caesar, I have a question. If we went with option 2, obviously not being everyone's favorite from staff, that gets us to the 8% that we're up against the deadline. Could we then do the other stuff in another year?
You have to go retro for everybody. It counts everybody and it adds to the swing.
Yeah,
The more time passes, the more it just
It's
gets
the only
higher.
time the opportunity is available.
You would have until the end of, I think, the calendar year, all you've got, without it going in. Because they go by calendar year, not fiscal year. They run January through December. So,
and there's really no bad choice. We're giving benefits to our employees with 1, 2, or 3. With the city's becoming better with any decision. So.
If you look at the surrounding cities, I mean, they're all across the board. I mean, from vesting time to the percentages to the COLA rate, and there's no consistency. The larger cities, of course, have the best programs, but they got a lot bigger budgets than we do.
Any suggestions?
If you're meeting next Wednesday, you're down 2 people. Is that enough? You do it with 4, 3?
Not budget. I think we have to have 4.
On a budget discussion? Voting?
Not a
He's
discussion.
talking about next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we'll be voting on it. The additional meeting.
Can anyone come next Wednesday?
Oh, then we can't have it.
What?
If special meeting requires.
4. You missed
4.
2.
You can do it.
No, no, him and him are meeting. Him and him. 2 pastel brothers down there.
I like it better when you're making fun of him. Well, we got less than that.
I mean, you are, not that I want to elongate the evening. Natasha, correct me if I'm wrong, can we close this meeting, have the council meeting, and then come back and reopen the budget workshop afterwards?
Today?
Yes.
I
think
think you
we
just want to
can.
go into recess right now? Is that what you're saying?
Well, you would recess this meeting, conduct the business of the council meeting, and then bring back some type of modified version afterwards? I'm not trying to put any more pressure on anybody, but I'm trying to work with everybody's stuff.
That's a thrilled gaze over there.
I know it is.
I think we can do that.
We could
Brought
try.
it open again last time, so.
We could try. I'm trying to work with.
Last time we
people's
ran
schedules.
over on the budget.
Yeah, but,
Is he asking if he wants to
Bless you.
use this
Hey, anything to
meeting
make the night
and
go
back up at the end of it?
But are we going to get any more information on that to give us a real?
We can run some of these numbers. We can run the 2% versus the 3%. We could go back to the slide, the PowerPoint. We could incorporate the machine, whatever size of the machine is, if you tell us what from this screen you want, plus any other possible changes, we could see what we could do.
Well, I think they've all decided on a tax rate.
It's all
The
decided
smaller
except the
machine, reducing it to 2%.
So keeping it the same, 2%, smaller, and then we can't run probably all the options in time, but which
No.
options are we looking at TMRS? Are we between 2 and 3? Is that what we're looking at?
One or
Between
two.
2? You're saying between 1 and 2?
Or 2 and 3, so the, cut it in the middle, it's just 2. Everybody agrees on 2.
Well, I mean, 2, there's not much to run because it's already in
it's
the
already
negative.
there.
Right.
It's
That's
already
what I'm
there. It's
saying,
already covered.
we're kind of at the end of this thing. We've been doing this for a while, I think, that's what I was saying, after this night too.
It is whatever the will of the group is. If you want to go,
Is that okay with everyone if we recess the meeting, have them run that direction, and then bring this meeting back open later?
But we're agreeing on Tuesday agreement, what else is there to run on it?
we
The
still got to run
2%.
numbers. There's still numbers to run. And I think Darren's got some notes too that he's been sharing with Ryan since then. Like, just allow us to try to bring something that just we can work on while we're here. Ryan, I'm not, sorry, man, I'm not trying to do that, but I know
Oh,
you're
we're
working
good.
on it.
I got Darren's pulled up. I can start working on it, with these oh my God, I'm shook. With these adjustments and I'll have it ready to go by the time they have the meeting.
Can we just try and see where we're at when we're done with the meeting?
Sure, we will now recess the budget workshop meeting at 6:02 PM. Does anyone need to make a pit stop prior to starting the next meeting? Okay, all right.
Thank you all for coming. You gang with option 2.
We're just having so much fun. Sorry.
No, I get you. I mean, I'm with you. I just don't understand.
Was that a throw?
But those, well, the budget had a small machine. Their budget has the larger one.
They would have.
I guess we're technically still deliberating. How's our girl?
Can you hit that trash behind you?
She had a really good day. It surprised me. Because it's like the couple days following chemo.
Yeah.
Usually bad, bad.
Yeah.
And today she was like, good mood, a lot of energy. walking around. Yeah, so she went to radiation, leaving, I think Stephanie took her tonight. And then,
I'm taking it to Justin. Is she doing that?
Tell them hi for
What it's called, it's
Tell
it's
them
a
hi
new
for
thing.
me.
It's an infusion. It's supposed to on the blow of everything. I can't remember what it's called. Marcel was telling me about it.
she's doing, proton radiation.
Yeah,
Concentrated.
right,
Not a widespread radiation. And that's the collateral damage from normal radiation.
right.
She's doing a low dose sustained.
Okay.
Once a week she goes and gets IV infusions to just help her.
That may be what it is. Yeah, I can't remember the term.
Yeah, you're talking about that's the one.
Yeah, I think yeah. We've had,
It's like antibiotics.
yeah, yep. We've had several friends that have done it. Yep. I can't remember the term, but yeah.
Natasha, could you make sure no one signed up for the second one?
Side effect is supposed to be, I would say minimal.
Yeah.
It's also in the second week, like, supposed to like kick it in, like, energy sweetness.
And how much she had total? Okay.
She's in the middle of the second week. And then she has one chemo week, so it's six chemo treatments.
And, little nausea?
She's having a little nausea today.
Yeah.
So she's taking her that's big at this. She'll be able before 41 this morning. So
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
starting her-
I know. Been there. Grisel's had breast cancer twice. I don't know if you knew.
I did not know that.
Yeah. She did the chemo radiation the first time. That's why I'm so interested in this. And the second time she went ahead and had the double reconstruction.
I did not know that.
She
Interesting.
just keeps winning.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Lee, hey, if you want to give them that thing on Monday, or read it to them, that's.
Give it to her.
Well, you're going to that meeting, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Did you read what I wrote?
Yeah, I did read it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, just, no, I mean, just,
You want me to read it or you want?
I can't go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll definitely read it.
yeah.
Because I'm,
Where are you going?
Chicago to see Oasis. Rock show. Don't give me that judgmental look.
Okay, where did Cedar go?
Justin's on this.
Standing room only,
Hey,
standing
so
line?
I'm going down Anders. 10 and 2 speed limit. Cop car over the Honey finds his own lights. Justin, what the hell? Look over, Justin.
Reminded, he doesn't work in this precinct, okay? The city. For now, anyway.
Darren, is this a 3-bottle night for you?
Great too.
Oh, my goodness.
Come on, Caesar.
There it is.
Okay. Seeing we have a quorum, I will call to order the City of Kema, City Council and Kema Public Facilities Corporation Council regular meeting agenda, August 20th, 25 at 6 p.m., at 6:07 p.m. Sorry. First thing on the agenda, the pledges.
Good job.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Next is a moment of silence. And next is invitation to address council, and Shalia Thorne is our only person to address council tonight.
Thank you very much. I'm actually going to do just a short continuation of the items I had from the budget workshop. And it's actually just a question or questions. In the police budget, it does list contracts. So I would like to know if the council is willing to disclose to the public, does that include the follow-on contracts for the drone licensing, insurance, and training? And then also, does that include, after the waiting period, the quote free period, the $1,100 a month for the Gov2 biz? So those are the things I'm asking, because I did notice that Kema News Now published that aerial photos run anywhere from $350 to $500 a session. And his open records said that the city paid $350 for the 4th of July and $350 for Evergreen, which lends itself to, there needs to be consideration of someone besides the police department having a drone license. I'm convinced y'all are going to go with it, no worries, but to take an officer off the street for the things that we're doing for events, and suppose that person is ill, having a backup. So please consider it. Thank you.
Thank you. We don't have any proclamations, presentations, awards tonight. Next is mayor comments. I'd like to just begin by welcoming all the students, teachers, and staff back to school. It's always an exciting time here in Kemah when our schools come back to life after a long summer break. I'd like to remind everyone to please be extra cautious on the roads. Watch for school buses as they are loading and unloading children and help us keep our students safe. We also have the Labor Day weekend approaching, and I want to note that the city offices will be closed on Monday, September the 1st in observance of that holiday. I hope everyone enjoys the long weekend with their family and friends. And as the summer tourism season winds down, I'd like to encourage everyone to continue supporting our local businesses, whether it's dining out or shopping local. Every dollar spent here in Kemah helps our businesses thrive, and money spent in Kemah stays in Kemah. Our business community really truly appreciates your support. And finally, I want to take a moment to remind us all that we are now in the peak of hurricane season. While we have been very fortunate this year so far, not to have any threats, we must remain alert and prepared. So if you haven't prepared so far, please do so. Please continue to monitor weather updates, review your family plans, and stay connected to the official city communications. Preparedness is the best safeguard we have. And thank you all for coming out tonight. And next on the agenda would be our city council comments, and we'll begin with Councilman Darren Broadus tonight.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out just before we get this meeting going, so I'll leave it at that.
And Councilman Dustin Oliver,
I will echo that. Thank you guys for coming out.
Councilman Meisinger, no comments. Councilman Lee Wallace.
Same here, wishing everyone a safe and happy Labor Day weekend. Be careful on the road, it'll be crazy as usual.
Councilman Isaac Saldana.
Ready to get to work.
Next on the agenda is our city administrator's report, which will come from Cesar Garcia.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have anything particular to report. I wanted to highlight that staff's got their monthly reports listed for transparency and accountability reasons. If any questions on those reports, all staff is here ready to answer those questions.
Do we have any questions or comments for 9A through 9G, which is reports from staff? Okay, number 10, next on the agenda is the consent agenda. 10A, to approve the minutes of the 8/6/2025 City Council Workshop Meeting. 10B, to approve the minutes of the 8/6/2025 City Council Regular Meeting. 10C, Quarterly Investment Monthly Report and Sales Tax Report. 10D, consideration and possible action to approve the replat for 2323 Anders Lane. It's preliminary and final plat. 10E, consideration and possible action to approve the replat for Quick Quack Coastal View FM 2094, also preliminary and final plat.
I'd like to pull 10E.
Do we have a motion to approve 10A through 10D?
So
We have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger to approve and a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 10A and through 10D, all passed unanimously. 10E, consideration and possible action to approve the replat of Quick Quack Coastal View.
You nailed it first time.
Yeah, I know. Couldn't do it 2 times in a row.
Ready?
Yes, Isaac. Uh-huh.
When I was looking this over, I noticed, are they, and I tried to look at it, I didn't quite understand it, but are they proposing their detention to be across the easement and on that lot, track 1, that's on 8th Street? You know the answer to that? Is that why that's on there? It looks like it is. Because they had trouble with getting the detention on that property, and I'm sorry for not bringing this up sooner. I should have emailed you over. I just didn't have time. But it appeared as when the drawing, that's what they're trying to do. And I'm just curious how because I didn't know a situation where you can detain across a easement.
Find out for you. Give me just a moment.
That's what it looks like.
It looks that way, but I want to confirm.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine they would have sent it. I just like them to explain because I've never heard of that. Never seen a situation where that works.
So,
Does this have to be approved tonight? Can you just let me know?
It is up for approval tonight, unless you choose to table it.
That's what I'm saying. Does it have to be approved tonight?
No, sir. It does not need to be approved
You
tonight.
need to find out. Again, I apologize for not asking you sooner.
I'm not sure if it's open discussion, if the,
You have to come up.
Okay, well, my name is Mike Miller, and I own the property at ProTech. And I also noticed that there's a water and sewer, or a sewer easement that runs through that alleyway, and a gas easement. So,
through the alleyway?
well, I guess that is the alleyway through there.
Yeah.
But I put a call into the engineer for WCID 12, never heard anything back. But that would be my concern, that sewer easement and that gas easement would be crossed. And I personally would like to see what would be, how that would be addressed.
So you say share the same concern, right? So yeah, I'm saying, I was curious. But there's an easement there for a reason.
Yeah.
Say no?
So Isaac,
What was the question?
The question. On the plat, you may not know, and we have to find out, but on the proposed plat for Quick Quack car wash, they're proposing because they had trouble getting detention on that deal. That's why it was held up so long. So now it looks like they've obtained track 1 on 8th Street, and there's an easement between the two. And they're proposing using that as detention. So how, my question is, or how's that even legal? Yeah, okay, we'll just table it. If we could, is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll make a motion to table.
do we have a second?
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilman Isaac Saldana and a second by Councilman Darren Broadus to table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 10E will be tabled, and
Is there
Caesar,
any way I could get a copy of that?
You just, get with her after the meeting.
it should be online too, shouldn't it, Natasha?
Yeah, it's part
Yeah.
of the package.
Okay.
The whole packet's online. You can print however much of it you want. So we will table 10E, and Caesar will do a deep dive on some of the questions we had tonight and bring those back. 11A, consideration and possible action, appointments to the Kemah Community Development Corporation, also known as KCDC, for position 5. Fill vacancies, appointments, and removals. 11A. We have several resumes in the packet. Hopefully you all have read through those.
I know one of our applicants is here. Sorry to
Okay.
several of the applicants are here. KCDC last night, just for everybody's awareness, their recommendation, should you choose to take it under advisement, was for Mr. Ryan Vitlock as their preferred option based on what was in the packet. Although the applicants were not invited or told about the meeting last night to come talk to KCDC, so that is on paper only. So I think Ryan's here. I don't know. I've never met Mr. Reiser. Is Mr. Reiser here? Hey, Reiser. So and then Miss Kim. So sounds like 3 of the 4 are here. Should we want to hear from them as a body?
Would everyone, I'm assuming you came because of your interest, would everyone be okay with addressing council and giving some background and ideas of why you want to be on the board? Okay, that means I've got to call on you, or you can, hang on a minute. Let me get my stuff together here. Okay, Andrew Reeser? Reeser?
Hello, Mayor Collins and gentlemen of the City Council. My name is Andrew Reeser. I've lived in Kemah since 2018. I grew up in Houston, and I've been coming to Kemah since I was a very small child. So I know the area very well, and obviously it's changed a lot in just the last 10 years or so, or even less. My interest in the Development Council, or I'm sorry, the Development Corporation is, I live in Kemah. I plan to live in Kemah for a very long time. You know, I'd like to be involved in how those decisions are made and understand how our city's developing and help to direct what kind of direction that development goes in. I think, well, I'll just go into more about myself. I'm an insurance broker. I specialize in marine and energy business. I work up in Houston. I've been in that business for 17 years. I have backgrounds. I studied economics and political science. I've never really been active in city government or politics since I moved here, but when I was young, I was very active in politics in Harris County and in Houston. So really my interest in being on the board of the Development Corporation is to help be a part of this city's future and how it grows and how it develops. I'm happy to address any questions any of you might have.
Any questions or comments? Well, thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Jason Small.
Who?
That's a reference.
Oh, I'm sorry. These are so long. Okay.
Well, good, call them up. Let's pass it.
Okay. Okay, the next one is not present. Let me keep going here.
Ryan Bitlock.
And if I butchered your last name earlier.
Ryan,
I
right?
apologize. Ryan is perfect, yes.
And how
Easier.
do we say it? How do we pronounce it?
Vitlook.
I did butcher it. Perfect.
Vitlook, yes.
Okay.
I butchered it last night.
just
That's okay. Ryan is perfect. Well, good evening, Mayor and members of the council. My name is Ryan Vitlook. I am a resident of Kemah. I moved to Kemah in April 2024. My spouse and I bought a home over in Kemah Crossing. We absolutely love the neighborhood, love the development that's going on in Kemah. My day-to-day life, I am currently the Director of Planning and Development for the City of LaPorte. Before that, I was Assistant Planning Director in the City of Baytown. I have about 18 years of planning and development experience on the municipal planning side. Obviously, when this opening came up, it made a lot of sense. I feel like I can bring a lot of my professional expertise to the citizens of Kemah and to the Development Corporation. I am very adept at looking at development plans, looking through budgets and things along those lines, looking at economic development incentives, and kind of being able to, review to see if, it's a good investment for the taxpayers. So that really is where my interest lies. Like I said, my spouse and I, we moved here in 2024. We plan on staying in Kemah. We've invested quite a bit into our home in Kemah. And are very, very excited to see the continued growth and kind of see the balance shift a little bit more equally to hopefully kind of stabilize the city's budget with having some more residents in the community. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions y'all may have.
Any questions or comments?
I guess I'll ask one. Being that you work for the city of LaPorte, is there going to be any kind of issue with you serving on a board in Kemah with your day job?
No, not at all. I have checked when the meetings are. I do not have any meetings. And I've also ran this through my city attorney as well as the city administrator. There is no conflict of interest. And I would definitely be able to separate my professional life as well as my service to the citizens of Kemah.
As long as the lawyers say yes, I guess. That's the only question I have.
Great, Justin, thank you.
Thank you very
Any
much.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you so
Thanks,
much.
Ron.
Nice to meet you. And Tram Kim?
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council and the public. It's so hard to go after Ryan. Come on, guys. I didn't know what my competition was or who other applicants were, but I think even if I was not on a voting member, I think I would recommend you as well. What else do I have to say? Well, I guess since I have a couple of minutes to address council, I'll just let you know a little bit about who I am. My name is Tram Kim, and I am in commercial real estate. I have been doing real estate for the past 2 years. Previously, I was a school teacher. So I have a lot of interest in making the community a place that families and children thrive in. And I thought this position was interesting. I was doing some research for a listing that I have in Kemah, and I said, well, you know, let me take a look at the city's website and see what other marketing materials I can gather from the city so I can attract more buyers to purchase this property here. And so I thought, well, it's a short-term position for the time being, and it would give me an opportunity to learn a little bit more about city government. My background is I was I worked at the city of Houston for some time in the mayor's office. My background is my educational background was international relations, and so I thought maybe I would work in actual government and become a U.S. diplomat one day. But that was, you know, a dream back in the day. It's still here, planted in my brain. So I still always have interest in doing something related to the city. So that's just a little bit about me. But I think that, you know, Ryan is a great candidate for this position, and I would support him.
Well, thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Where was that? Oh, yeah. Any motion?
Well,
I'd
just
like to
comments?
abstain, just make it public since I have litigation pending with one of the applicants. So I would like to stay completely out of this.
I'll make a couple comments. I
Absolutely.
just want to build on some things I've said before in that the quality of the applicant has just gotten really good. I mean, for instance, I didn't talk to somebody who's got a background in economics, somebody who does it in another city. And I know Ms. Kim pretty well, and I'm going to tell you, she's a stellar commercial agent. You know, and these are people that have a wealth of knowledge, and every one of them would bring great interest to the board, honestly. And I'll say that there's only one seat available, so we're going to appoint one person tonight. But I wouldn't discourage you from applying again in the future, whoever it is, because these seats come available pretty often. And there's some seats that I think they're expiring out in the near future, maybe within the next year. But you never know. But I love the interest. We've taken a lot of time in economic development in this town, and I think it's gone a really good direction. And I'm really excited about where it's going. So thank you all very much for applying, and I appreciate the talent, honestly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But on that note, I'll make a motion to nominate Ryan Hevlock.
Good luck.
Bitlock.
Hevlock.
I
I'm so
second.
sorry. With the name I saw, Danya, I can appreciate it. Mr. Hevlock.
We have a motion by Councilman Isaac Saldana and a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous, and welcome.
Congratulations, Ryan.
But thank all of you.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, though, like,
Thank you all.
Please reapply.
Yes.
11B, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution 2025-32, resignation of a representative and designation of a representative and alternate to the Houston Galveston Area Council, also known as HGAC, 2025 General Assembly. I believe our main representative was Teresa Vasquez Evans, and she had to resign from council recently, and I believe our alternate was Councilman Darren Broadus, so we need to replace Teresa, or we need to move Darren up and replace Darren, or some combination
You want
thereof.
to do it there?
No.
Oh.
You want to think about it?
Okay,
My plate is full.
So, the representative then is vacant, and Darren, you would choose to stay on as an alternate?
Well, I mean, if somebody else is interested, I mean, it's a great organization. It's great networking to meet other city officials in the greater area.
I'll nominate Dustin Oliver and Lee Wallace.
Okay, well, is that a motion before I make my comment?
Go ahead, Dustin.
I did talk to Caesar about this briefly because there was an HGAC event that we were thinking about going to, and then that's what spurred, I remember Ms. Vasquez Evans being the representative and they kind of panicked and went, who's going? I did volunteer. If nobody else wanted it, I would do it. And then I saw Darren was the alternate and he just barked that he's not going to do it. So I did volunteer and told Caesar you could pass that along to the mayor. But up to you folks.
I believe we have a motion actually on
I'll
the
second
floor
that motion.
by
Just to be clear,
Councilman
it's
Isaac
1 and
Saldana
2.
1 and 2.
I didn't
For-
ask you. You go for it.
Thanks.
for Councilman Dustin Oliver to be the main representative
have
and
that.
for Councilman Lee Wallace to be the alternate. Do we have we had a second by Councilman Darren Broadus. All those in favor? Any opposed? And that motion carries as well. No, you don't get to say. 11C, consideration and possible action to authorize the Kemah Police Department to accept a donation of a drone.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. We're happy to report that the Law Enforcement Alliance of Galveston has indeed offered us this opportunity for this drone. The cost is between $12,300 and $15,600, so somewhere between that vicinity. They have agreed to cover the full amount. So we're excited to offer this opportunity for us. We did receive a comment from a resident on our excellent selection of a drone and supporting this tonight. And I believe all of you were copied on the question that was posed earlier about having enough folks licensed to have it. We do know that it is between $200 for the test and $250 for the training. So it'd be an additional $450, and that is already in the budget for 2 folks to attend. If it is council's will for us to have other folks, then by all means, we would love to do so.
So we would have a minimum of 2 people that knew how to.
We've already budgeted for 2 people, but if council would like us to have more, then that's always an option.
More within the department?
More within the city.
Did somebody volunteer?
Not necessarily, but a request came earlier tonight before you, and so we wanted to let you know what the cost was, should you want to consider that in the future.
Oh, I get, my question, Chief, kind of towards the grant, the terms of the grant. This is a law enforcement grant. Could we even use this drone for other events around town or have somebody other than a police
Absolutely.
officer use it for
Absolutely.
non-law enforcement
Absolutely.
purposes?
This is an organization that, when I was at a previous agency, they donated a boat. So I reached out to them. It's not guaranteed, but we have a good shot at it. So we have to run through the process. Again, $0 to you guys. But yes, we can use it for any other events. Lieutenant Ruiz has already signed up to go to the class, and Officer Parlo's already certified. So it's a good tool. I mean, we've been trying to get one. We didn't ask for something really super fancy, but this can get the job done for what we need. With the park being there now, we talked about that, safety issues. If we need to get it up in the air quick, he can have it up in the air within 5, 6, 7 minutes. You know, the 4th of July event, you know, we got stuff going on that deal. Get it up and then more eyes in the sky. It is definitely a tool that we need with us being such a tourist town. Got to have it.
It's interesting you bring that up because when they used to be in my backyard, I've actually flown my drone up there and caught people living in there and hovered over it so the police officers could find out what the guys were. So I could see how that's very useful. How else would you use it though? Like what would be a normal?
I mean, we use it for investigations as well. If we need to get up there, it could be a homicide scene. Hopefully never have that. Something goes down, we could have a big fire that the fire department has something, but we don't want to send a man up there. We could put a drone up there to check to make sure what kind of chemicals it may be that are coming out of the truck. Drone is like the newest crime tool to have.
I see there's a thermal camera. Could you do like for
Nighttime,
for hunting, like if the kid was lost or
correct.
something? You could,
Nighttime vision.
For search and
absolutely.
rescue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Search and
You
rescue.
have something to say, sir?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Reason why I wanted to step up and say something, this has what's called a starlight camera. Okay. It's the difference between infrared and thermal. Okay. For thermal cameras, this will actually allow you to see a person that is actually hiding in foliage when it's hot outside, because a normal camera, it'll just show the ground's hot. You won't see that person. This also gives us the ability, if we are responding to something, say someone is being held against their will inside of a vehicle, with a regular IR camera, you cannot see inside the vehicle through the window. With this will allow you to be able to do so. Not to mention, one of the other aspects that this will help with, because of its flight range, if we have a boat that does capsize, the fire department, it's another asset that is available to the fire department as well.
Chief Zuniga, you have something to say?
Just in case.
Chief, it's Chief Suniga.
So, as he was saying, the main issue is, when we're launching, specifically in relation to capsized vessels in the water, being able to launch it from land and get eyes on exactly where that person is in the water, would be a absolute critical, asset to us. So,
Drone's the thing nowadays. We have to have those eyes in the sky.
Are there any other questions or comments?
I guess my question would be, you said we already have one certified, we have two budgeted. Could we put somebody from Public Works through the training so we do have or somebody through City Hall, so we have somebody outside the police department?
That would not be a problem. If that's the will, then I would have no
Well, I'm
problem.
just asking, I mean, if we already have one certified, then I know the petrochemical, they're using them heavily.
Almost daily.
I never thought I'd see the technology in our industry, but it's heavily being used now, and they all have 2 or 3 certified drone pilots inside the facilities now, so.
Again, if you want to make it a third, feel better with it being an officer, we can send 3. That way, just more available in case we need it, having 3 pilots ready to go.
I mean, you say you want it outside the police department? It's a law enforcement grant, right?
Correct.
But the training would be paid for through city funds to
I'm
do
just
it.
saying, kind of going back to Ms. Thorne's comment, if it was an event that wasn't police related, we wanted to get photos, if we had somebody in Public Works, you're not pulling a police officer off the road, they could do those.
Sure.
Outside of police work, I'm not saying police work, but outside of police work, we can utilize the drone for capacity.
Except that officers are usually at our events, but I get it.
Yeah, it'd be a backup plan because if you tell us you need it, one of the guys will be available to do the photos. And video.
Or maybe somebody from the fire department in case.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
I was saying, maybe it is somebody out of the fire
I
department.
think I like that idea better. It's an emergency
Well,
service,
so,
would be great.
Yeah.
Yep. Fire already has,
I have 1 certified.
we have 3 or 4. I know for certain that we have 3 that are certified, maybe even 4.
They have a lot more money than we do.
About that.
We're still doing that budget.
I didn't know you couldn't read.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion to authorize Kima Police Department to accept the donation of a drone.
I second.
So I have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger and a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 11D, consideration and possible action to approve the purchase of additional flock safety equipment via MVCPA grant. And this is 11D.
thank you, Mayor. Remember at the last meeting, we accepted a grant from the Motor Vehicle Association. This is also affectionately called the Cali Converter Grant. This contract is funded year to year. We are looking at adding more flock cameras, as we mentioned, to increase our public safety. This was a concern. Remember, you've already budgeted for the match for the grant. This would be the contract to move forward. Should you choose to do so, we had $55,000 granted with a $11,000 match. It's already embedded into your budget, any of the options that you so pick. This would add cameras on site effective the contract does not become effective until after September 1st. That's when we have the green light to commence spending of funds. But we're requesting authorization to proceed accordingly with what we accepted the grant funds to go do.
I guess my question is, I know we have, 8 now? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And where are you gonna position these?
We haven't actually locked it down yet. That is something that we haven't reviewed it yet between Chief and Caesar as well.
We're also not going to be very public about where we put them. They'll be conspicuously situated throughout the city in a lot of our gateway entry and exit points.
Any more questions or comments?
no, but I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of additional flock safety equipment via the MVCPA grant.
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilman Doug Meisinger, a second by Councilman Dustin Oliver. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 11E, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution 2025-33, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Kima, Texas, authorizing the submission of a contract amendment request for the Texas Community Development Fund contract between the City of Kima and the Texas Department of Agriculture, also known as TDA, contract number CDD 23-0409.
Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Megan Flynn from Public Management is here. Should you have any questions on this item? If you remember, we proceeded with a certain option to go forward with the drainage grant that the city was awarded. And thus tonight she's here providing that information for you as far as the request for the amendment that we said that we needed to proceed with in order to take the next steps with this grant.
So just a bit of clarification. Initially, we had planned to keep the beneficiaries the same regardless of the reduction in scope. The TDA didn't really see our explanation for that, so reducing the beneficiaries with this amendment requires it to have a resolution at council. And that's all that this is.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2025-33.
So we have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus and a second by Councilman Doug Meisinger to approve. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous.
Thank you.
We're gonna get there eventually.
Baby steps, as long as we're stepping forward.
Next on the agenda, 11F, consideration and possible action to approve a MOU with gov2biz.ai for a no-cost pilot program.
Thank you, Mayor. This item was brought to us from this company, and it is we mentioned technology. I too never thought that we'd be using technology in this way, but the program is called Leah, and essentially what it is it's an AI program that helps you answer phone calls with pre-canned questions that are prepared. A lot of times when we call these customer service lines, we think we're speaking to a live person, but sometimes we are not. It is actually pre-canned so they can read through what we have. They've offered us this option to be part of their program through the end of the calendar year at no cost. And if we consider to go with them again in the future, we can consider at that time. We did not find it prudent to put in the budget because, quite frankly, I'm not that I'm not convinced on it. It's that I want to make sure that it works before I bring it to you, as we did with some of the other programs that we've tried to bring forward. And also the cost of it, as a resident said earlier, is a concern. So although it's not as costly as another human being to help answer phones, the abundance of phone calls that we're getting, and it's only growing between our court staff, our permitting staff, and just our admin staff in general. There's a lot of phone calls we're getting. We sat through an entire sample of this, and we'd like to test it further before we really bring this back for consideration. So if we were to accept it and want it further, then we would have to probably not do without it for a few months and then bring it back next budget cycle. But at this time, this is what we were asking, so we can beta test it for a good 4 months at no cost.
So the pilot is 4 months long.
Correct. It would be from September, October. Yes, 4 months.
Okay. Does council have any questions or comments?
Are you gonna fulfill all the obligations in here?
Yes, I have read through the obligations. They're asking us to be available at TML and present on it. They're asking us to provide references if any other cities request it. So no cost, low cost. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will be going to TML. Yes, there's now several reasons why I have to go to TML, but yes.
And do you have any idea which phones it would be on? Would it be just on yours or several, or the main line in City Hall?
It would be the main line at City Hall.
Okay.
So when phone calls are coming in that our court and our permitting staff answers on a day-to-day basis, this would help screen those calls, answer some of the folks' questions. A lot of the questions are the same. particularly where they're uptick in court items, that we're getting a lot of the same calls. How do I schedule a court case? Where do I go for this? How do I pay for a ticket? A lot of those calls that are redundant, this would allow us to leverage that technology and free up some time for staff to actually get the work done. Because right now, one of the biggest complaints we have is we just don't have enough time to answer all the phone calls as well as handle the folks at the window. Just the influx of the window has grown. So until we complete the efficiency, and that's one of the items that's coming up next of our court operations, it's something that we'd like to try and see if it could help out.
And I'm assuming the company Gov2Biz would assist you with preparing all of those questions. They have
Absolutely.
expertise in that. Okay.
They actually asked us for a set of questions we normally get asked, and that's how they did the beta test that we did on the phone. So it sounded just like a real person. I couldn't believe that it wasn't.
I guess, Kyle, is there any legalities that we have to worry about using AI to answer questions? I don't think so, but it's all so weird. Oh, I'm just asking if there's any legal that we need to be concerned with by using AI to answer questions at the city level.
No.
Any other questions or comments or discussion?
I make a motion to approve a MOU with gov2biz.ai for a no-cost pilot program.
We have a motion by Councilman Darren Broadus to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Councilman Lee Wallace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 11G, consideration and possible action to approve the video magistrate proposal.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, this item is, again, with use of technology. Magistration is something that is part of regular court operations. Right now, we have not been as efficient as possible in having those magistrations take place. With training through PD and through staff and through our judges, they sat through a call about a week and a half ago with the vendor. A lot of other cities use the same vendor. It allows them to magistrate folks that are in our jail and allows them to have their due process once they become incarcerated. So another efficient use where they can speak to a judge immediately or short thereafter their time being detained.
Until 3 years, is that right?
Yes. So this is what most other agencies are using as well. Shouldn't be a problem because we don't have some of the volume they have. But we need to get this in place because of the fact that we were just cutting people loose on PR bonds. Now we can get on the video here and make this happen and hold people accountable for the warrants that we're trying to clear up.
Any other,
Councilman Wallace and I sat in a couple of meetings with court staff, and it made abundantly clear to us how important this is.
Absolutely.
So personally, I was thrilled to see this.
We needed it.
Progress, baby steps.
any more questions or comments, discussion? Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the video magistrate proposal.
I'll second it.
So I have a motion by Councilman Lee Wallace and a second by Councilman Doug Meisinger. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
He needs it next week.
We do not have an executive closed session tonight. So let me remind you, if we're going to take a break and reconvene the prior workshop meeting, so don't leave. But we will adjourn the regular city council meeting at 6:48 p.m.
Oh.
They were not happy with the They were not happy with what was being. They were not happy.
I was gonna say yes.
I was telling them what they said.
That way I can get it. Okay, is it okay to do it first thing in the morning? Okay, okay. I'm not excited. I'm not gonna. Oh, go look at her. Look at her. You be careful. I know, right? It is terrible. Definitely not.
That shirt and that thing.
Our internet is slow right now, so it's it looks good. Oh, it was slow going up because of the internet.
It's fine, but I need to do that.
I didn't see
That's what they
that.
do.
I didn't see that.
If I can, that's fine. If I can.
It just shut.
If that's
Yeah,
a
now-
an option.
Yeah.
You're not gonna believe it.
But it did it twice.
The budget varies, part two.
The what?
The budget varies, part two. Well, part three or four? Part three.
Budget
Be
varies.
ready.
Budget bananas.
Be ready.
It better not come up in.
We can't have your picture.
No. It better be a good picture.
I got the one. I got the one.
You know, my bad. I'm crazy because I was going through sugar.
Yeah, we're gonna. What'd you say? You said
Yeah, they are not an option. They're not optional.
This is when you have really long meetings.
That too. No, but I was thinking that, I wasn't thinking that, but that's hilarious.
Is everybody back? No. Nope.
I would love to have you know, that one will, that one will.
You need to put your, whatever's your, on your screen up.
But they.
There you go.
Pennies, and
Make it big enough.
I'll get to it. Sure. I'm a little bit, from the number. Much bigger district right now. But we'll never finish.
Like, can you see it when it pops up?
How are you doing? Good.
Yeah, because right now, well, it's not running though.
I think it's still.
It looked like, yeah, it still shows it in progress. Yeah, I think our internet, oh, look, no, it did it. It did it a couple of times, but not. Yeah. But,
No, that is exactly.
yeah. Okay. You need me to go get it if I can too.
Go ahead and grab it. It looks like a light source. Is it light source?
obviously option three is better. That's what they do.
Oh, okay, yes. Everybody's back. Where's Caesar? Okay. If you see Caesar, oh, here's one. Once you hit this thing, you gotta kind of juggle the door handle. Natasha, am I the lime green ones only? Yes. Okay. Where did he go? He needs to come back.
Oh, I got pulled up right there.
Patty, did you see him down the hall, Caesar?
Yes, he was just going to his office.
We need him here to start up again.
There it says, modify, it's theirs.
Oh, okay. Do we need Kyle? Probably okay.
I told him this was waiting right now.
Okay. I call back to order the City of Kemah City Council and Kemah Public Facilities Corporation Workshop Agenda, August 20, 2025 at 6:58 p.m. We will take up again 3B, presentation and discussion, proposed budget fiscal year 2026.
Okay, I just wanted to tell y'all kind of a little backstory about these two budgets I just updated. The one we're looking at right here is the one Darren. We'll make it bigger. Uh-huh. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
Man, oh man.
Oh, yes, you can.
But as you can see, Darren came in, I think it was Friday. Was it Friday, Darren? Maybe.
Yeah.
And we worked on this, and we moved around some revenue numbers and cuts. And we added some expenses. And so this budget has an additional police vehicle than the original does. So when I click over to, this is the same one, the same rate, the same one you were looking at earlier. I just updated it with the 2% sales tax, the difference between option 3 and option 2. And I don't have my paper for the other things, but all the 4 questions, the smaller equipment, and I can't remember the 4th thing. But as you can see, this one has a little bit more in it than the other one because it doesn't have the additional cop car. And I'm sure Darren's wondering why his number went up. I made it like apples to apples on the cost savings from the TML and also some of the cuts we made in the budget.
So the cop car would not be in this?
Oh, it could be. Very well, we could add the cop car. I wanted you to see the true number from the adjustment that we made. So.
And what is that number? 3?
It's really hard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's 183, 181, 433. Oh, gosh. Here we go.
Question, Ryan. This sample that's up here now, just to recap, it shows 2% versus 3.
Yes, sir.
It shows the same rate. It shows the smaller piece of equipment.
Yes, sir.
And which TMRS plan does it show?
It shows option 2.
2.
The 8%.
And just the difference between option 2 and 3 on the TMRS, so that's the only thing that was being debated. How much was that?
$117,000.
117,043.
Yes, ma'am.
I would just bring it to everybody's attention for the last 8 or 9 years, we've been putting back in the growth fund. We put $275,000 roughly for 6 or 7 years. Last year, we didn't quite get to that number. We were $230 for road and maintenance and drainage. So that doesn't have anything in roads and maintenance or anything like that with that. That was my number I was going to flip into roads and maintenance, whatever flushed out when you guys all said no to the budget. We have $50,000 for contingencies.
Yes, sir.
But all 3 years I've set up here, we've had we servers. We didn't pay somebody for 4 years this year. I mean, something's popped up that we did not have budgeted. That's been somewhere between $35,000 and $70,000. So just to be on the conservative side, I put $50,000 in contingencies that if the air conditioner goes out or anything of that nature that we don't have budgeted, we do have the funds to have to go in and try to figure out where the funds are going to come from.
Yeah, we've had one of those every year.
Every year.
50 to 80, it seems like.
I think the servers were 63 or 65, or we had to do all the servers to get up to stay the par. And say, as much planning as you try to do, as much as we got moving parts, something's going to pop up that we just didn't anticipate. So.
And I know Darren talked about moving 100,000 of that to roads and drainage projects in the future, and that would leave 32,000 that we could maybe use to outfit the chief's car and repurpose some public work vehicles.
Yes, thank you, Ryan. One of the things that we discovered in this through the last 2 days is currently the police chief's car it can be equipped to become a patrol car. Engine-wise, it has what it needs. What it's missing is some of the bells and whistles, if you will. Actually, I'll tell you exactly what it's missing. It's missing the cage, push bumper, some mounting kits. It would need the rest of the graphics. a dash cam, and a modem. So roughly, if you wanted to convert that vehicle into a patrol vehicle, you could essentially add take $20,000 and do that. Having said that, and that would give you your second police vehicle that we were requesting instead of having to go the entire route. Secondly, in addition to that, you currently have 2 public work pickup trucks that could be repurposed into, again, a vehicle for chief, as well as a vehicle for like an admin vehicle that would be usable in this case, and we could essentially eliminate or repurpose those funds towards these vehicles. So there's another possible solution to save money because a police car is extremely costly. Just the outfitting alone is about $45,000. So to keep that in mind, this would essentially give you the same effect, but it would give you a vehicle much faster and at about 2/3 of the cost. For a vehicle you already have.
Something that was brought up in the enterprise meeting that I didn't think about, but one thing that was brought to our attention was, yes, our cars probably don't have the same miles, but they have the number of hours because they're still running. So yes, they don't have the mileage on them, probably Houston police station because they run a bigger district, but they're still on. So you gotta look at it from that point of view. Is that they brought that to my attention. I really hadn't ever thought about the idle time that they're sitting there. So theoretically, 50,000 miles, our police cars' useful life is up. If you look at the hours that are being burned on them, so if you're looking every 5 years, the police car needs to be redone. Even though it's got 50,000 miles, that was their suggestion was I think it could be more than 5, but that was what Enterprise suggested to us when we sat down with those guys.
Well, I saw an opportunity with Caesar to give up my vehicle to get just a plain truck and throw a few lights in it to help the team out, the guys that are out on the front lines, and it was a great idea. We believe it's could be an easy fix and save a little money. We're giving up the.
We did a lot faster too.
Yeah.
In the April, October, November.
And we can have them now, yes, sir.
At least one of those. There's 2 Public Works Silverado trucks. Currently, we have a staff of 5, and we have 6 vehicles. 6, Ms. Jerry? Is it 6 trucks altogether?
Jerry?
I'm almost certain we have 6 vehicles, and tandems would not be an issue in that time frame. Again, trying to be as efficient as possible. In a time of cost savings, we're all willing to do that. We looked at turning my vehicle in as an option. Right now, we found out today there might be some type of benefit to doing it, but it's not as great as some of the others. But all cards are on the table. We're willing to do whatever we can.
So it would be 20 grand to make his vehicle, patrol vehicle. What would the cost be to get the public works vehicle?
14,000.
14,000.
Rough 14.
And that's roughly, we're still looking into that. Again, I'm not worried about the brand of lights. If we can find a cheaper light, it's just for me to have to check out with my guys.
Yeah.
To me, when we already made the down payments, when we lease these vehicles, that's already done. It's a, quick and cheaper way to do it. And then I think the truck has 16,000 and the other one has 30,000. I'm okay with it. It beats the other unit that we had that has 168,000 miles on it. I think it's $850 a month for that vehicle, and the police vehicles are like $2,200 a month.
And again, if the plan is to replace 2 vehicles a year, that continues with that plan. However, next year, we're going to run out of vehicles to do that with. So. Were there any other modifications, suggestions, additions, subtractions?
Ryan, you said option 2's in these two?
Yes, sir. Option 2.
If you go with option 1, it'll cost you an additional 60,000. If you go with option 3, it'll cost you an additional 98,000.
That's where I got that 98 number. Street 2 and 3.
Between 2 and 3 would be 98,000.
And what was, you said 98,000 for 3, what you said for 2?
It would be roughly $60,000. Not exactly. Ballpark.
Yeah.
Somewhere between those notes.
You know, tablet to organize all that for you.
That was happening over there. That's what we're working off of. We're working off hand scratch over here. 82, 2, 7, 16, Option 1 would be $62,626.37. We'll be exact.
Darren, you want this?
That's just for this budget. We still don't know what it would be, the increase next year.
What'd you say one was? 63?
$62,626.37.
Option 2, 19,875. What you got?
No, that's the 62. The other one's 98, number 3.
Oh, sorry.
Option 3 would be $96,918.
96 what?
918 cents.
You do this one. Then you lower the spectrum.
We could have, we can still do 3. The number for the surplus went up, it's from between 3 to 2.
Heavy drinker than I.
But Justin's a shame, right?
Yes. Howdy, hold on.
Any comments?
Anybody?
We need some comments, gentlemen. Direction. Well, I think you have direction on everything but this.
Yes, ma'am. Were there any modifications we missed? I know there was some tweaking of other numbers. Did you already, Ryan, did you already incorporate the tweaking for court on revenue?
On Darren, so there's the tweaking on a couple of revenue items for the warrant.
Warranty element is 140, and then Fire inspections, I went up to 30, we got 330 businesses, so $100 each, so we should be able to collect 90% of that. We should be able to collect 100%, but just to give us a little leeway for businesses going out of business. And then I went down on interest on mine to 41 because they're screaming at the Fed level that they're gonna drop interest rates in September and then again in November, so I'm just hedging against that because I think it'll affect us for next year's budget. So we're down to 41,000. No, we can't predict the future, but the buzz is it's gonna drop. If it goes to 1%, then we're gonna be too high anyway. So there's no way to calculate that at this point, but the only thing we added was Public Works guy, so we went with the small machine, and then we added another police car.
Yeah, the Public Works guy was kind of a wash with KCDC pitching in. I mean, we're covering the benefits and things like that, but and then the cop car and the outfitting.
And I lowered the ad valorem tax by 1% just because we don't have a certified number yet. People are still contesting, so just to be on the safe side, I went
But when I look
99%.
at those numbers this last week, that number was fairly low. The section that's still out there being
It is low. It is.
lower than I had anticipated, I'll put it that way. It's being contested still.
A very good majority has already gone through it. I think it was like 95% or more.
It's really though, ad valorem went up, pretty much what the ad valorem went up for the city, our emergency services went up almost 80% of that number.
Yeah,
We went from 215 to 271 just in ambulance service with Galveston County. So pretty much all the gain we got on property taxes went just for ambulance services.
and it goes up every year.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
We didn't see a bigger increase because of what the state did by increasing the homestead. I mean, something this board's probably gonna have to look at in the future because we got $150,000 on top of what the states just did for 65 and older. So I mean, it's just something that not being done anywhere else that I'm aware of. So if they go to that tax, then property taxes go completely away in the next session. So I mean, you can't predict the future, but some sort of value added tax. Honestly, would benefit Keno drastically compared to most cities. I would think. Just depends on how it rolls out, but since we're so heavily sales tax based.
All right, gentlemen. I know you all have an opinion, you always do.
Here you go, mine ain't changed. Option
I'm still
two.
on two.
Okay, so you're on two, you're on two. I think you have your marching papers in, Caesar. You have option two. You have 2% as a 1% increase from the 3, and
Small piece of equipment.
small piece of equipment,
Keep the tax rate the same.
and keep the tax rate the same.
Understood.
Do you have any questions or comments, Ryan or Caesar, for council prior to adjournment?
We'll move some of that surplus around to some roads and drainage, and we'll have an official, maybe fourth official proposed budget. And I'm excited for September 3rd. So.
And can council expect that prior to, in the next few days?
Oh,
or-
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure we can knock it out tomorrow. I can email it.
Disperse it electronically?
So we
Okay.
don't need a budget workshop next week, right?
That was my next question. Do we need to? Okay, there's
You
shake.
can't have one. You can't have one. You only have 4 people.
Oh.
That's true. That's true.
But
I forget
Caesar-
you're both going to be gone.
I can do it remotely.
I'm just saying, I want to be part of that conversation with the county. So to make it official.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments?
It's already started.
Or
But
questions prior to adjournment? Y'all can take that offline later. Any other comments or anything prior to adjournment? Okay, we are going to adjourn the regular city council meeting at 7:20 PM. Oh, no, let me take that back. I'm adjourning the budget workshop meeting at 7:20 PM.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.